All of the signs shown in the video are proving that climate change is very real and is drastically affecting planet Earth, and us humans are the cause.
However, we can also be the solution. We cannot sit back but should take action. If we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves. So what exactly is climate change? Climate change is defined as a long-term change in the Earth's overall temperature with massive and permanent consequences. The Earth's temperature depends on the balance between energy entering and leaving the planet's system. When sunlight reaches the Earth's surface, it can either be reflected back into space or absorbed by the Earth. Incoming energy that is absorbed by the Earth warms the planet. Once absorbed, the planet releases some of the energy back into the atmosphere as heat, which is also called infrared radiation. Solar energy that is reflected back to space does not warm the Earth. Certain gases in the atmosphere absorb energy, slowing or preventing the loss of heat to space. Those gases are known as greenhouse gases. A little greenhouse effect is natural to the Earth and is a good thing to have. The gases act like a blanket, making the Earth warmer. But a large greenhouse effect can be catastrophic, causing a lot of the energy to stay in our atmosphere and heat up the Earth at an accelerating rate. Key greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxides, ground-level ozone, water vapor, aerosols, and CFCs. Since the Industrial Revolution, human activities have released large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which have changed the Earth's climate.
Natural processes, such as changes in the sun's energy and volcanic eruptions, also affect the Earth's climate.
However, they do not explain the warming that we have observed over the last century. Concentrations of the key greenhouse gases have all increased since the Industrial Revolution due to human activities. Our civilizations produced a devastating 40 billion tons of carbon dioxide in 1 year. It's enough to fill the entire Grand Canyon 5 times, and it's equivalent of 19 million Empire State Buildings. Effects of climate change. Again, let's review some signs that tell us why we should care about global warming. The Earth's temperature has risen 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit over the past century and is projected to rise another 0.5 to 8.6 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 100 years. Animals and plants are struggling to adapt to these conditions for survival. Even if one species goes extinct, it can create a domino effect with the food chain.
Since the oceans are becoming warmer, the polar ice caps are melting, causing almost 65% of the polar ice caps to melt.
Since 1979, the Earth loses on average 400 billion tons of ice each year. That's like a giant block of ice 4 miles long on each side that melts and is added to the ocean. Some coastal regions get flooded and destroyed. Climate change also causes more frequent and intense natural disasters such as hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, heat waves, and droughts. World's efforts to fight climate change. The 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, more commonly referred to as COP26, was held in Glasgow, Scotland, United Kingdom from October 31st to November 13th, 2021. COP26 was the moment countries revisit the climate pledges made under the 2015 Paris Agreement. 25,000 delegates from nearly 200 countries were expected to attend. A new global agreement, the Glasgow Climate Pact, was reached at the COP26 summit. The agreement, although not legally binding, set the global agenda on climate change for the next decade. Emissions. The pact reaffirms the Paris Agreement temperature goal of holding the increase in global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Over 140 countries pledged to reach net zero emissions. This includes 90% of the global GDP. Coal. For the first time at a COP conference, an explicit plan was made to reduce the use of coal, which is responsible for 40% of annual carbon dioxide emissions. Trees. Leaders from more than 100 countries, with about 85% of world's forests, promised to stop deforestation by 2030. This is seen as vital, as trees absorb vast amounts of carbon dioxide. Methane, a scheme to cut 30% of methane emissions by 2030, was agreed by more than 100 countries. China has committed to peak carbon dioxide emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. Companies in the construction, transportation, and iron and steel sectors should play a leading role in the transition. For example, the transportation sector, which emitted about 1 billion metric tons of carbon, needs to find alternative fuels and improve energy-efficient technology.
There is no one-size-fits-all approach to stopping or slowing global warming, and each individual, business, municipal, state, tribe, and federal entity must weigh their opinions in light of their own unique set of circumstances.